Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into a massive paradigm shift today, really digging into where our true peace and success actually come from. We're constantly conditioned to look outward for validation, right? Always trying to rearrange the pieces of our lives just to find a little bit of satisfaction. But today, we're exploring a completely different and honestly a much more empowering approach. Let's get into it. Let's start things off with a pretty provocative question. Really ask yourself this. Does your happiness depend on external things? Like if your job title just vanished tomorrow, or your social standing suddenly shifted overnight, who would you actually be? And more importantly, would you still be happy? I know, it's a heavy question right out of the gate, but it perfectly sets the stage to challenge literally everything we think we know about contentment. All right, part one, our self-made prison, the illusion of identity. So when we attach our core identity to temporary external things, our jobs, our wealth, our status, or even just society's fleeting opinion of us, we're literally setting a trap for ourselves. Because think about it, these external factors are temporary. They are constantly changing. So tying our happiness to them, it pulls us into this vicious cycle. It creates this intense mental bondage. We essentially become prisoners to fear, to anxiety, insecurity, and sadness, just constantly exhausted from trying to hold on to things we ultimately can't control. So the absolutely crucial point here is this. True freedom begins the exact moment we realize that our actual nature is far, far more vast than these temporary identities. We are not our job titles, we're not our worldly successes, and we certainly aren't our failures. And when this profound understanding really takes root, this deep, unshakable peace and self-confidence naturally emerges. It happens simply because we detach our self-worth from those temporary labels. Moving on to part two, the mirror of the mind, inner perception. Okay, I want you to think of your mind as an inner mirror. When this mirror gets clouded or dirtied by things like selfishness, anger, jealousy, hatred, and ego, it completely distorts how we view everyone and everything around us. It's like looking through a really filthy window. We aren't seeing the world as it actually is, we're just seeing it through the smudged, distorted glass of our own negativity. So, how do we fix that? Well, the internal process starts with an active decision to release our ego, anger, and jealousy. Making that choice naturally cleanses our inner mirror. And guys, the resulting transformation is just beautiful. As that ego drops, we suddenly gain the ability to see the inherent goodness, that divine spark in everyone else. Instead of instinctively judging their faults and flaws, we actually start to see their true nature. And this shift in perspective isn't just about feeling warm and fuzzy for a moment. It's actually the very foundation of genuine love, compassion, and forgiveness in our daily lives. When your inner mirror is clean, treating others with grace just becomes your natural default. It's no longer this forced, exhausting effort. That brings us to part three, the true cause of suffering, reactions versus responses. Now, I really want you to consider this quote. No one can make you sad unless you yourself give them authority over your mind. Wow, this reminds us that our sadness actually stems from our own expectations, our own reactions, and our own thoughts, not directly from other people. No one can disturb you unless you literally hand them the keys to your emotional state. And this highlights the profound difference between unconsciously reacting to the world versus remaining highly aware. See, a reaction is just a defensive, automatic reflex. It's driven by ego, expectations, and honestly, a total lack of awareness. But a response? A response is driven by self-awareness, understanding, and internal peace. If we stay aware of our thoughts, external situations simply cannot disturb us. We learn to respond with wisdom rather than just reacting with unchecked emotion. What's really fascinating here is how this completely redefines spirituality. It's not about running away to meditate on some isolated mountain peak. True spiritual life means staying right here in the chaos. It's about living in the everyday world but remaining peaceful within it, staying aware, staying loving, and crucially, using every single difficulty as an opportunity to understand ourselves better and shed a little more of our ego to find the truth. All right, let's wrap this up with part four, true freedom and success, winning at life. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, a person who truly knows themselves stops comparing entirely. They focus all their energy on doing their absolute best right now in the present moment.
By letting go of that constant nagging anxiety over future outcomes, they paradoxically achieve the best of both worlds: highly effective action that often brings outer success, paired with a permanent, unshakable internal joy.
To summarize the core takeaway of our explainer today, true success is entirely an inside job. It's not measured by the size of your bank account, and it's for sure not measured by fame or status. The ultimate metric of a highly successful human life is simply possessing a peaceful, balanced, and loving mind. If you have that, you literally have everything. We're going to leave you with this profound concluding thought. When a person is freed from their false identity, ego, and fear, only then do they experience their true nature. From there begins true freedom, lasting peace, and the realization of the divine. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. Look closely at your life today and ask yourself, what false identities can I shed right now to begin experiencing my own true freedom and lasting peace?